This is Dust Debbie, and you're listening to The Ford Show. I've listened. I'm deaf.
All right. Thank you, Def Debbie. So, Trump, you heard there on that headline, the jury was going to deliberate some more today, and they reached their verdict. Former President Trump was found guilty on all 34 felony charges. That sounds like you're piling on. 34 felony charges, all of them guilty, guilty, guilty. And the judge will soon determine whether the former president will be imprisoned for a felony conviction for the first time. Trump was found guilty of falsifying business records to conceal a $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels to buy her silence before the 2016 presidential election. The jury in Manhattan returned its guilty verdict after a trial that stretched 6 weeks and featured more than 20 witnesses. Each of the 34 felony charges carries up to a $5,000 fine and a 4-year prison sentence. But whether Trump will go to prison is another question. One that's up to the judge at sentencing. The judge set a July 11 date for sentencing following the jury's verdict on Thursday. The timing is in line with similar white-collar felony cases, where sentencing often takes place anywhere from 3 to 8 weeks after conviction. According to Dan Horowitz, a defense lawyer who formerly prosecuted white-collar cases for the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. The sentencing will happen just 4 days before the start of the National Republican Convention, and that is just a coincidence. The minimum sentence for falsifying business records in the first degree is 0, so Trump could receive probation or conditional discharge, a sentence of no jail, or up to 4 years for each offense. Trump would likely be ordered to serve the prison time concurrently for each count, so up to 4 years total. The judge could sentence him to anything between 0 and the max, Horowitz said, so he could sentence him to a period of months in jail, or he could sentence him to a period of weeks in jail. He could sentence him to a sentence where he is required, for example, to go to jail every weekend for a period of time and then serve the rest of his sentence on probation. In an analysis of comparable cases brought by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, Norm Eisen, who has written a book about Trump's 2020 election-related federal indictment and served as special counsel in the first impeachment of the former president, found that about 10% resulted in imprisonment. But the circumstances surrounding the case could make any across-the-board comparison difficult. Trump could also be sentenced to home detention, where he would wear an ankle bracelet and be monitored rather than going to jail. Horowitz suggested that a home detention sentence, which walks a middle ground between no punishment and a stint in the state prison, might be the most likely outcome. It would also satisfy Trump's unusual security and political situation. I can't imagine. Now, listen, I should preface all of this with, I don't care if Trump goes to jail or not. So, I got to get that right out of the way real quick. Now, I just can't see how you put him in jail for this with the election right around the corner, with clearly it's a 2-horse race between him and Uncle Sleepy Joe. Actually, at this point, he's Grandpa Joe. So I'm thinking maybe madness, maybe a little house arrest, maybe a little, slap on the wrist Jones. But apparently this judge is I guess, an asshole. I didn't really follow this thing very closely. But it's ironic that Trump gets in trouble for hush money at around the same time that his good friend Vincent Kennedy McMahon is also in trouble for hush money payments. Nothing to see here. But
well, this is pretty common amongst people who are exuberantly wealthy. This is something that happens. They get these charges on them because they know there's money involved and everything like that. In this case, this is going down, obviously, as we know, because there's power at stake coming in November, and they fear the hell out of Trump. So they're going to do whatever they can, per usual, to make sure that this man does not get himself back in office for another term. I don't give a shit. Whatever you like, I don't care. I don't want to argue it, but that's what it's going on. If you think politics is some honest game, you guys got to. I'll sell you a unicorn, killer unicorn insurance, because you are gullible. And this is a political game, a political stunt. Whether it works or not, whether it's true or not, it's irrelevant. It's politics. This wouldn't be happening if he wasn't running for president. Bottom line.
Vegas, before I throw it to you, I will say Trump could seek to stay the execution of any sentence pending appeal, meaning, to dumb it down, that he wouldn't have to start serving the sentence until an appeals court makes a decision, which is not uncommon in white-collar cases in New York federal courts, Horowitz continued. The move could delay any jail time until the election or even beyond. In any case, though possible imprisonment raises some hurdles for Trump's presidential campaign, his conviction does not restrict him from continuing to run, even if he's behind bars. Now, my question for you, Vegas, is does this conviction help help Donald Trump become president in November?
Well, he is President Trump. He was a president, so he'll always be known as a president regardless.
You're right. I stand corrected.
But he's not. The judge is going to sentence him to prison. Absolutely, 100%. He's going to do this because the guy is a staunch liberal judge who's already basically he told the jury, "Listen, if you guys are a hung jury, that's okay. You don't have to agree because if you don't agree and you're split, it's guilty." So he's already told them in his remarks before they started deliberating that, listen, you don't all have to agree, but he's guilty. So right there, it's all going to be overturned eventually anyway, because it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court's going to realize that none of these charges have any merit. And, the district attorney in New York has done all of this. Once Robert De Niro and Joe Biden started speaking about this trial and saying Trump needs to go away, blah, blah, blah. It's 100% political witch hunt. The judge will sentence him to prison. He won't have to go serve anything until after November. He will win in a landslide. I am telling you, this is going to backfire so much. His donation page crashed. Millions of people instantly went to donate money. His son set up another donation page, crashed in 30 minutes. They set up they either were going to set up another one or try to this guy's going to get millions and millions and millions of dollars over the next week or so. It's going to be terrible because all the independents now are going to vote for Trump because the Democrats and the liberals have used the legal system to try to stop their opponent because they all know Trump is winning huge in most of the states. Even the battleground states, people are tired of Biden. People are tired of the liberals weaponizing the justice system and weaponizing all this. This is something a third world country would do. This is something Venezuela would do or Russia would do to stop their political opponents. Democracy, a little bit of the democracy fell in the United States today. It's very sad. And the Republicans, I see some people saying that, we should start pressing charges on all the Democrats because Joe Biden has committed how many number of felonies himself that are proven that he has done this, and yet he's never going to get charged with anything. I don't think he should because I think you should not politicalize the judicial system. But that's what the Democrats did, and it's going to backfire immensely on them.
Yeah, so I do see where the Trump campaign donation page crashes after guilty verdict. I don't see an amount yet. GOP, that was from 10 hours ago, but there's a GOP mega donor, Miriam Adelson, is to fund a colossal super PAC for Trump. So, yeah, that was kind of my point. I think this may backfire because it may make him more popular among people who necessarily weren't going to vote for him and now might vote for him. I saw 20% of people said that their vote could change by the election last week. And I'm wondering, of that 20%, how many changed with today's guilty verdict? And I guess time will tell. I think if Vegas, you'll know that we've done this before because you've been around for years and years and years. But I think that we should do like an election night show, like we did we did one in 2020. Remember we were doing one in 2020. I think we should do one in this year, and they're live. They're not recorded. They're not a podcast version. It's like a live version, and we just talk about what's happening and cover it. Maybe we'll do that again this year because I'm already making plans to do some more live stuff. So maybe November 5, Tuesday, November 5, maybe we'll do a live show and follow the election. That's what I think. That's what I think, damn it.
He swears he's not on the spectrum.
You big dummy.
But we think he's lying. This is The Ford Show.
So I have one other thing. Actually, I have two other things I wanted to get to. This lady, I've tried to get. Well, I won't. Actually, I won't start with that. I'll start with the actual story itself, and then I'll give you the money shot. This woman here, she's a woman who says that she married and then divorced a ghost, has now adopted a possessed clown, but says it's made her ex jealous. I'm going to say that one more time. A woman who says she married and then divorced a ghost has adopted a possessed clown, but says it's made her ex jealous.
Yeah, so the ghost is jealous of the clown.
Yes. Brocard. She's 40.
Blowhard? What?
Close. She tied the knot with Victorian soldier spook Edwardo and then split with him when she accused him of cheating and then stalking her.
Weird.
The singer and songwriter has now adopted a possessed clown after connecting with him when spending a night at the Clown Motel in Nevada.
You know, Joey Vegas, you know what's funny about this right now? He's having an easier time get this weird-ass story out than he was about that poor kid's freaking Vicodin and alcohol rain suicide attempt. Like, he's actually getting this out easier than that. He's laughing like 16 times harder at that kid's suicide attempt than this clown woman's ghost fetish.
Because this is nothing to joke about.
This is nothing to joke about?
I was waiting for you to... This is a
circus beyond belief, if you ask me.
Okay, but there's more. She says that her ex, the Victorian soldier ghost, Edwardo, has become jealous and does not want the clown in the house.
Now we need to have a Victorian soldier ghost mascot, as well, along with Sir Patrick Domingo the Flamingo. I think that's we're building a little stable here. Go on.
Ghost magnet Brocard encountered the possessed clown while touring the world, filming a series of haunted locations for her TV show pilot. I will give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count if that show is going to get picked up. She says Edwardo has so far been placid with her communicating with other spirits, and the couple rarely make eye contact these days. But his unrested soul seems to be rattled by the thought of her bringing another ghost over the threshold. She said, I can instantly tell when Eduardo was a point to make. His energy is very powerful. His presence has been very manageable these days, and I only see him from time to time. He does not like the clown, though. He watches him, and I keep finding the clown by the door. Subtly is not Edwardo's strong point, end quote. She goes on. He has nothing to be concerned about, as I have no intention of marrying a clown ghost, although that would be funny. The clown is here for research purposes only, and I definitely don't need to get into a paranormal love triangle. I know the clown is possessed, so perhaps Edwardo has picked up on some bad energy and is just looking out for me. I'm fascinated by the prospect of spirit vessels and haunted objects. It's a whole new world for me, so I'm trying to learn and absorb as much as possible. That's why I've enjoyed filming this series so much, as I'm meeting people who've had fascinating ghost adventures and are retarded like myself. On a trip to the famous clown motel, Brocard instantly gravitated towards the clown and connected with it due to their love of theater and performing, she says. She says the spirit trapped inside the clown immediately revealed to Brocard that he was a carnival clown and that he was a tortured soul who spent his days performing for audiences that didn't care and ridiculed him for not being funny. When I connected with spirits, it's often their emotions that I connect with first. Sometimes an unrested spirit attaches itself to a physical entity. In this case, this clown doll had been once owned by or come into a contact with a man who worked as a clown. This man was tortured by his dreams of stardom, but was condemned to life in the carnival where he was underappreciated. I suppose as an artist, I can relate to this. So I feel that that's why he chose me to convey this message. Brocard instantly felt like she wanted to rescue the clown, and the motel agreed, take this fucking thing home. And they let her adopt him to conduct a full paranormal investigation to see if she can find more information or even capture evidence of his possession. Madness, Vegas, anybody?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I believe, listen. I believe in the paranormal. I believe that when we pass on, there are some people that stick around. However, I do not believe you can marry a ghost. I do believe in possession, so I do believe that and I've seen the Clown Motel. It's creepy as fuck. Okay? I've seen it. Never been there. Would never go there. Never even set foot 10 million feet from that thing. But it is possible. You just can't.
This is one of her songs. It's called Just Another Anthem. This is Brocard. This is her music. Madness, this sounds like something you would like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That sounds really good. I like that. Yeah, that's
so okay. So here's the thing. We need Rage and Rob to do a real deep dive on that song because he loves rage-hinged songs. He loves hardcore metal songs. So we need him to review this for next week, please.
Fucking rage.
Just another fuck you anthem. A hate proclaiming, nauseous shaming. Crack of shit that's totally draining. Fuck you and your lovers. I fuck with you as you.
So this is the artist who married Edwardo, the Victorian soldier. So here's the deal. I reached out to this Brocard, and I'm waiting on a response.
Well, if she ever hears this episode, she ain't coming back on.
Bouquet to a brighter day. Celebrate the hate we invite to play. Are you divorcing the line of your decay? You've taken me to my knees, let's pray.
I love it. She's got a song here called Last Supper, and this is a radio edit in case a radio station ever wants to play this person. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
Don't just what will you consume at your last supper?
I mean, this sounds just like music that Madness would listen to, actually, for being honest with each other.
Yeah, but it's a little sloppy sounding. I don't think that her voice is necessarily doing any favors here. And I do like a good female metal vocal.
It's not bad. It's very Evanescence-esque.
So the Clown Motel has largely been reported as one of the most haunted locations in Nevada. After a night alone in the motel, Brocard also revealed her thoughts on why this may be. The motel is fascinating as that blah, blah, blah. There. So this girl married a ghost, and then he cheated on her.
So, Ford.
Yeah, but...
So, Ford, we need to go to a haunted place.
Oh, boy.
And we need to experience, all three of us. Madness somehow will have to break from his busy schedule someday. And I'm not talking about like soon, but someday. And we'll all have to go have a nice paranormal investigation.
To the
So I can
same...
prove to you.
You want to go to the same place?
Oh, we're not going to the Clown Motel.
No, I'm saying you want all three of us
Well,
to
yeah,
go
we all
to
have to be in the same place.
Okay. All right. But see,
we can't zoom paranormal.
You're a believer. See, I'm not a believer.
See that, and that's why we have to get you there, because you got to make you a believer.
Madness, are you a believer? I don't know if we were talking about
what?
that.
Of what?
Paranormal. You keeping up, or
No,
your headphones
I don't
working?
No, I'm here. No, I don't believe
Are you a
in
fan
any,
of...
I don't believe in any paranormal activity. I don't believe in any of that stuff. It's all very, coincidental when you kind of run things through. It's people see what they want to see and apply it to what they want to apply. They have their own perceptions and delusions as well, and it all gets a little bit misconstrued in their brains, and they think that they have had some sort of contact with the paranormal, where it's just them losing their shit. Go on.
So you're telling me that millions of people, all the video evidence, millions of hours of tape and audio, that all of it's bullshit?
Yes.
Oof.
Yeah, go take another gummy.
Are the gummies kicking in yet?
Oh, they're in. The gummies are there. Absolutely. And I'm just quite frankly, going to tell you, there's no such thing as ghosts. I'm sorry. Clowns are real, but they're just people in makeup. There's just a big bag of human cells and flesh just painted and walking around with stupid faces, honking their little nose with the little squeaky sound that it makes, and giggling and squirting little things out of the flour on their shirt. That's what they do, and that's a clown. You can see a clown, you can become a clown, you can be a clown, you can be called a clown, kind of like Ford over there. And there's no ghosts though. Joey Vegas, you are here, and you are not a ghost.
So I hung out with a clown once. His name was Pogo the Clown. He did some things. Vegas, he did some things.
You also interviewed Bozo the Clown.
You goddamn right I did. I should put that up as a Flashback Ford episode. I did interview Bozo the Clown. Yeah.
Which one?
The one that we grew up watching.
Bob Bell?
No, that was the original. The one that we grew up. The one that we grew up watching.
Who was that?
Diaria?
Can't remember.
Yeah, Joey. Is it Joey?
Yeah, Joey Diaria. Yeah.
I went to the Bozo. I went to the Bozo show once.
Yeah, and that was your clown. You saw Joey Diaria playing Bozo.
Right. And then now the Bozo show, the closest I get is coming on this.
Hey, this is all you need, baby.
3 Bozos.
Madness has been a little stiff tonight. Have you noticed that, Vegas?
Yeah,
He's been a little stiff. He's been a little stiff
Let the edible do its thing. It's a little stiff.
When did you take the edible?
Day. I can't remember. Probably like an hour.
Yeah, you went to Six Flags, right?
Yes, I was at Six Flags today. Folks, let me tell you something about Six Flags. And holy shit, to get to the park, not a big deal financially. $41 ticket for the day. Not bad. Not
Can you
bad.
imagine if Disney was priced that way?
Yeah, but I will tell you, Disney is brutal, but Six Flags is pretty bad itself. $40 parking. Okay, that's the same price as the entry.
What?
To park. $40.
What?
42 after the fee. And just so you know, Six Flags, at least Great America, is a fully cashless establishment now. They will not take your cash at all. I'm not shocked by it, but it's also kind of annoying. But I got my daughter a bubble tea and a Dippin' Dots, and each of those was $12.95. And it's just wild. And then we had lunch, and she got a pretzel, and we split a bottle of water, and I got a giant turkey leg, and the total bill was $41 for that. So between and that plus games, and they serve alcohol there too. I don't drink because I was with my daughter, but I couldn't imagine how much a beer would cost at Six Flags at this point. I'm guessing we're talking $16.
So you only went with one daughter?
Correct, because
Oh,
of their ages. Because my older daughter is significantly taller and obviously a little braver around the rides. Whereas it was just me and if I brought both the girls, it would be a disaster. Just because one would be too bored with the little rides, the other one's too scared to go on the big ones and can't go on a lot of them because of her height. So,
Did you ride Batman?
I wanted to ride Batman. They got some crazy shit there now. Batman the Ride is still there. They got Superman now. You know, that's been there for 20 years after Shockwave got pulled out. They got this ride called Goliath up there now. It's a wooden roller coaster that does a literal 90-degree drop. Didn't get on it because, again, I was with a kid, and it was her choice. We did Viper. We did the Demon.
Do they still have the Iron Eagle?
Oh, the Iron Wolf.
Iron Wolf, sorry.
No, the one I was just talking about, Goliath, is what replaced that one.
Oh, okay.
That was
Didn't they have
pulled out.
Didn't they have something with an eagle in the name of it?
American Eagle, that's still there. It's a big wooden
The
roller
wooden
coaster.
one, yeah.
Yeah, Raging Bull, X-Flight, Max Force. They got the Joker has his own ride there. There's all kinds of shit. I mean, everything went from like when I was young going to Six Flags, everything was more Looney Tunes, right? It was more Bugs Bunny and Daffy and Tweety and all that shit. Now it's more like Marvel or whatever, or DC Comics, whichever one
it's
it is.
DC. Yeah, Marvel's
Is it DC?
Disney. Yeah.
Marvel's Disney, right. So it's DC. I can never remember the two. But they got some cool rides in there, featuring all those characters. So it's not bad. It's cool. It's like more teen geared, where it seemed like it was more kid geared when I was in the 90s, when I was growing up.
So let me show you how the first time my ride on Batman experience was, right? So for those of you that don't know, you like sit and your feet dangle off. And I had never done it before. And so this was my Batman. I'm going to show you guys, if you guys are watching the podcast, you'll be able to see this. But this is basically what my first experience was on Batman. My head down.
He just looks like he's having a seizure right now.
Yeah, I
if you're
couldn't get
watching.
my head up. My head was down the whole fucking ride. Bouncing. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Side to side.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Shockwave?
No, it was Batman. It was Batman. My feet were dangling and my head was bouncing. Yeah, it was the worst.
There was a roller coaster there named from '88 to 2002 named Shockwave.
Yeah,
And
I know that one, but no.
Yeah, that thing was considered a failed roller coaster because of the amount of injuries people sustained on that. Like from what exactly you're talking about, your head's getting smacked around. And there was this thing known, when you go on Shockwave, your head's going to get smacked around between the harnesses and hit against the back of the cart. It sure shall beat the fuck out of you, yeah.
Yeah, this was Batman, and I remember getting off, and I said to my mother, I couldn't keep my head up, and she was like, "You stupid idiot, you could have hurt yourself." And I was like, I tried, couldn't do it. And then
I just don't understand things. Like I was watching this thing, like they just disassemble these roller coasters. Like I just would be like, if it was just me, like, okay, Mike, disassemble that roller coaster. I'd be like, where the fuck do I even begin? Like what? Like what? I just start unscrewing something and just
yeah. I mean, those guys have like degrees and stuff. And
well, I'm sure that's why I don't know shit. But like, to me, it's just one of those things that's just baffling. Like I just look up at the. How do I get this down? Like, what do I do? Like, how are these guys doing this?
I always I like the thrill, but as I get older, I'm like, I don't want that thing breaking.
Yeah, no, it's the amount of irrational fears that we take on as we get older is unbelievable. Like I literally was like sitting up last night worried about my daughter flying out of the car on one of the roller coasters, and I'm just like, we're not going on this. We're not going anymore. Why? Because I have irrational fears of you flying out. You just built this up for 3 months, Dad. Like, you're gonna fly out. We're not going.
So all in all, she had fun though.
Yeah, great time, man.
She's sleeping because usually the kids are like wiped out.
She slept a little bit on the car ride, but I think both my kids are still awake right now.
Yeah, we're gonna leave you with this. I'm gonna tell you this: these little kids sometimes they're unappreciative little bitches. But 7 years ago was my wife and her daughter, and we went to Universal, and she's probably 7, 6 maybe, and we're leaving. And my wife goes, "Did you have fun?" She's in the back. She goes, "No, I didn't have any fun." And I was like, what the fuck? I was brand new here, right? I was brand new, right? And I was like, what the fuck? My instincts, I wanted to turn like my mother would have turned around and been like, what the fuck? But she said that because we had to leave. So she didn't have fun because we had to leave. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's normal kid stuff.
Yeah. All right. Next week, we'll be back. Follow Ford on X at radio_Ford. You can follow Vegas on X at Joey S. Vegas. And the S doesn't stand for slime ball. Madness is also on X at and Instagram at MFS Wellness. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can watch this show on YouTube at Radio Ford. Just search that on YouTube. You'll find us. You can also watch us on Rumble if you're there at Radio Ford. Don't forget to hit the follow button. Patreon.com/Radio Ford. If you'd like to financially support the show, as little as $3 gets you in the door. And you could also follow the show on Instagram at radio_Ford. I am happy to report that Big Time Bex has been paid for her winning the Flamingo tournament. Sir Patrick Domingo the Flamingo is now the name of our Flamingo. He will be, you could refer to him as Sir Patrick if you'd like. You could refer to him as Domingo, or you could refer to him as his full name, which is Sir Patrick Domingo the Flamingo. For Madness, for Madness and Vegas. I forgot to include him in the exit there. I'm Ford. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next week.
Good night, jabroni marks without a life that don't know if it's a work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot. Marks.
See ya!